Another reason early Christians may have desired to distinguish themselves from the Jews is because of anti-Jewish sentiment in the Roman Empire. Jewish revolts against the Roman government led to the Jews being the target of restrictive laws and outbreaks of violence and persecution. One of the most famous Jewish revolts is the First Jewish War, which led to the Romans destroying the temple in Jerusalem in 70 AD. And the Jewish historian Josephus wrote that over 1 million combatants died in the revolt. Many of the remaining Jews were enslaved or expelled from Jerusalem, and harsh measures were imposed against the Jews by the Roman Empire, including heavy taxation. Then in 132 to 135 AD, there was another revolt by the Jews against the Roman government called the Bar Kokhba Revolt, which resulted in the Roman Emperor Hadrian imposing restrictions on Jewish religious practices. An online post entitled Sabbath Laws and Early Church by LibertyMagazine.com states, in AD 135, at the end of the Jewish rebellion against Roman domination, the Emperor Hadrian passed laws forbidding circumcision, the keeping of the Sabbath, and the study or teaching of the Torah. This may have given Christians further motivation to abandon the Sabbath in place of the Lord's Day, because they wanted to avoid being targeted along with the Jews, who were Sabbath keepers. To justify this theologically, they said they gathered on Sunday in honor of the resurrection of Jesus, even though the Bible never tells us to do that. This was part of the great falling away that the Apostle Paul warned about in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, stating, "Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition." The phrase falling away here is translated from the Greek word apostasia, which is where we get the English word apostasy from. Apostasy means a departure from the truth. After the apostolic era, various pagan teachings crept into the church, which were all part of the falling away Paul warned about. For example, Sunday was originally dedicated to the pagan sun god, Sol Invictus. Many Gentile converts to the Christian church came from this background, so going from keeping Sunday in honor of the sun to in honor of the Son of God was a convenient transition. Former pagan temples were converted to Christian churches. The pagan practice of Spiritism and ancestor worship was rebranded as veneration and prayers to Mary and the saints. Additionally, the statue of St. Peter enthroned at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City is believed by some to have originally been the pagan god Jupiter. Jupiter was one of the main gods in Roman culture. The statue of Jupiter originally resided in the Roman Pantheon, which was a temple dedicated to the worship of various pagan deities. In 608 AD, Pope Boniface IV had the remains of many martyrs removed from the Christian catacombs and placed in the Pantheon. Consequently, the temple was officially converted to a church and named Saint Maria and Martyrs. During the medieval period, many pagan statues and artifacts were often removed or repurposed in the context of the Christianization of Rome. And some claim the statue of Jupiter was repurposed as St. Peter for St. Peter's Basilica, even though the official explanation is that it was sculpted by Arnolfo di Cambio, a renowned Tuscan artist. Holidays like Easter and Christmas are believed by many to have pagan origins as well. December the 25th is close to the date of Saturnalia, an ancient Roman festival held in honor of the god Saturn, which took place on December the 17th to the 23rd. Some link Easter to pagan traditions associated with springtime celebrations and fertility. One theory suggests that the English word Easter is derived from Ostre, an ancient Germanic goddess of spring and fertility. And that would explain the Easter bunny and eggs. You don't find a bunny or eggs in the Bible, those are symbols of fertility. So how did the falling away happen? What caused Christianity to compromise with paganism? It was the legalization of Christianity by Constantine in 313 AD. At that time, Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, which granted religious tolerance to Christians and ended Christian persecution. Prior to this, in 312 AD, during the Battle of Milvian Bridge, Constantine claimed to have seen a cross of light in the sky, with the message, "In this sign you shall conquer." Constantine went on to win the battle and associated his success with the support of the Christian God. He then converted to Christianity. Since Constantine was now a Christian ruler, pagans began converting to Christianity to align themselves with the emperor and advance their political and social opportunities. Britannica.com explains, many new converts were won, including those who converted only with the hope of advancing their careers. This led to unconverted pagans joining the church with their traditions and concepts, and this was all part of the devil's plan. You see, since Satan couldn't succeed by persecuting the church, he changed his tactics and instead joined the church and corrupted it through pagan influences. Up until the legalization of Christianity by Constantine, Christians faced fierce persecution in the Roman Empire. However, persecution was ineffective at stamping out Christianity because the blood of the martyrs was the seed of the church. It led to more people converting to Christianity when they witnessed the faith of the martyrs. Anyway, many scholars question the genuineness of Constantine's conversion. For example, after his conversion, Constantine continued to hold the title of Pontifex Maximus. This was the most important religious office in Roman paganism. Some scholars see this as a potential inconsistency, as one might expect a converted Christian emperor to distance himself from traditional pagan religious roles. By the way, guess who calls himself the Pontifex Maximus today? The Pope. Not only did Constantine retain his pagan title, he also refused to get baptized until his deathbed in 337 AD. In addition, during his reign, Constantine passed a law mandating Sunday rest in 321 AD, stating, "All judges and city people and the craftsmen shall rest upon the venerable day of the sun. Country people, however, may freely attend to the cultivation of the fields, because it frequently happens that no other days are better adapted for planting the grain in the furrows or the vines in trenches, so that the advantage given by heavenly providence may not, for the occasion of a short time, perish." Notice the wording that Constantine used here in calling Sunday the venerable day of the sun. This is distinctly pagan language. He didn't refer to Sunday as the Lord's Day or the Sabbath, for example, and this reflects the blending of Christian and pagan beliefs at that time in history. Remember, Sunday was originally dedicated to the Roman sun god, Sol Invictus. So wording his Sunday rest law in a way familiar to the pagans may have been an attempt to bridge the gap between paganism and Christianity, since Sunday was a day of worship for both groups.